All right. Namaste, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And take a week off, and it's so important to connect, connectivity with all this polarization going on in the world, as we know. What we can do is lovingly connect, and it's called satsang in yoga. And we're connecting to a higher truth. We're connecting not only, of course, as human beings, but from our heart and our higher centers. And everything's welcome, of course, the gunky gunk. But also, ultimately, we want to align ourselves, and that's yoga so beautifully does, get ourselves in the right alignment. And of course, that helps whatever situations we're facing in the world as well. So we will work on that. And I just want to shout out to, you may follow her, Tara Brock. I just heard a podcast that I heard before. I may have mentioned it, but she's a Buddhist psychologist. And she's an invitation to be a warrior, not as much a worrier. So we're going to do some warrior poses to let go of some of that worry. And it really is a great way to remind ourselves to uplift and not have that clench, worries, fears, anxieties. It's all very clenching energy. We did that fist movement, but that kind of vibrates through the body. All right, so enough talking about it. We'll get into the practice of, and I thought we'd start. You may need, of course, all your props, but you may need a Kleenex, because this is one of those bellows breath exhales where we're dynamically exhaling through the nostrils. So if you need to get a Kleenex, feel free. I'm going to go back to the mat here. Okay, so sitting comfortably, crossing at the ankles, adjusting, really feeling your sit bones rooting down. You could place your hands down and help that rooting action. So the bellows breath, we practice it together and then do a series of about maybe 8 times. We're going to inhale with the palms open when the arms are above the head. But when you exhale, we make a fist and draw the energy toward the earth. So it looks like this, sounds like this. Okay, inhale, expand, exhale, inhale, exhale. Hear that sound. Squeeze the shoulders. If you want to make that HA sound more audible through the throat, you're welcome to. That's much more dynamic, especially if you're feeling stressed. Let's do 2 more. Okay. Now, with the hands still in the fist in a good way, we're going to root down. So make sure the shoulders aren't crunching up. So bring your arms out so that you're pressing into the earth. And as you press into the earth, it's going to help us to ground. And then also feel your sit bones. Your sit bones connected, the heart open, dynamic, through the central channel, through the limbs, especially the arms. And we'll do that exhalation now more through the nostrils. We did through the mouth. So we're, think of like a Kapalabhati breath, but slower. We'll inhale, belly, heart, crown. And then exhale, release out. Do this 4 more times. Inhale. And then exhale. As you exhale, press through the hands, the fists. Find your rhythm, find your pace, belly, heart, crown. And then dynamic release, more intense of a letting go. And again, And then the next time we'll inhale, we'll create the softening and the eagle heart mudra, bringing the hands, cross out the thumbs. Feel that warmth with the hands connected to the heart. So that dynamic letting go energy and that compassionate kindness to your own hearts. Think of somebody you love or a pet. And it starts with another, but that love is emanating from within you. That love is sourcing from within you. And it's even deeper, that love that you feel within you is sourced by something bigger, divine love. So returning in our practice to the source of love, and think of the practice as a moving prayer. And of course, and then we connect that love to others in satsang, in connection. And as I said earlier, as we know, connection is so needed. Always, but especially now. Hands to the heart chakra that governs this capacity to love, but it also has the emotional heart of fear, worry, anxiety. So it has the yin and the yang. And we want to align it as the energy from the heart reaches down through the arms, through the shoulders. As we inhale, we're uplifting our energy, bringing the hands to the crown, expanding, lengthening, growing. And then as we exhale, we feel the space all around us. And from the core, twisting to the left, floating the arms down. You can place the right hand on the knee or in front of the shin. Exhale, deep rotation, twist. Inhale, ease back. 3/4 of the way. Exhale, twist the tension out, starting at the physical body. But also know we're letting those emotional tensions unknot, unfurl as well. And we do that with that exhalation more audibly. And then we unfurl and we open the heart chakra from the front, back, and sides, expanding and uplifting the energy, letting it rise up from heart, spiritual eye, crown, lengthen and grow. And then exhale, arms out to the side. We know we're twisting to the other side. The left hand could be on the right knee or in front of the shin. Exhale from the core, twist the tension out, parallel. Inhale, ease. Now, talking about the chakras a bit, we want to release that energy in the exhale of the throat chakra. Because when our hearts and our head are in conflict, that can create a lot of tension in the throat. So if you tend to have sore throats or blood issues in the throat, there may be a conflict going with the head and the heart. Just see if that rings true to you. Open up, expand, and then reach behind you. Really opening all the chakras, but especially working on the upper. As we look up, knuckles reach back, and then possibly coming forward. We'll see what happens. So you can use a strap. Bowing to the wisdom of the heart, tucking the chin. Listen to the sound, make it more audible. And inhale, rising back up. Okay. Releasing, palms up or grounded if you're needing more grounding. Notice the difference in that expression. This is a great time to set the intention for what you'd like to receive today from the practice, from this day, what we're opening to. And love, light, and wisdom, returning to wholeness. Slowly draw the knees in. We'll start on our back to release our back and then keep that as a focus, because that was a request throughout the class. So you know to use blankets or props, whatever works for you. All right. And we're going to first lift the heart and then round the spine. Core strength is going to help take us down to the earth. Shimmy shake. Low, mid, upper back. Really press through the feet. Sweep the arms overhead. Feel the space all around you, as well as within you, as you just ease those shoulders, the knees to the shoulders, the chest, side to side. Iron out the back. And let's do 3 circles of the inner borders of the feet together, the knees apart, and then drawing toward the chest. Hips opening, low back releasing simultaneously. And then let's plug in the feet. Press through the feet and feel the Pilates clock. Push your hand on your belly as you're laying down here. So the 6 to 12 position, what we want to do is arc and draw the sacrum down toward into the earth. The 6 o'clock position, and then the 12 flattening. Keep those inner thighs engaged. So let's go the arc and curl, releasing the low backs, drawing into the sacrum. 6 o'clock, and then exhale. Back to the 12. It's up and down movement. Great to do several times throughout the day. Get the release in the low back, which this does. One more time. And then we place our hands by the hip bones and we go over side to side, energy toward the 3 o'clock Pilates clock, and then over across to the mountain. That bell point. At your own pace, at your own timing. It's getting really oriented to the 3 to 9 position. It's tempting to lift up a little bit, keep plugged in. And through the feet, through the low back. Make sure those shoulders don't creep upward toward the ears. Excellent. Now relax. Now as you relax, of course, there's a natural arc in the lumbar. Okay, but we don't want to overdo it. We just want to soften there as we transition into a figure 4 ab series, which is going to strengthen the core, which we also need to help release the low back. But you know that. We're going to flex through this right foot after we rotated the ankle. We're going to draw that right knee away from you. Now, be mindful the low back arches, of course, but then we plug in again. And then the knee drawing, the left knee drawing in is going to help root down. Use your elbow to open up the hip and to release the low back. Now let's do about 5 crunches here. What does that look like? So you can have your, for me, it's easier to just don't yank the neck, to place the hands lightly behind the base of the neck. You're still energizing through this left leg. And we're deep exhale, crunching and easing down, keeping the low back plugged in, strengthening in our core. 5 times. We want to do more than that throughout our series in the class. We can weave it in. I think that's 5. And another way that you may like is an opposite, meaning that this right arm releases down and we do a crunch again, but we're bringing the left elbow toward the right knee. Now you notice your low back is still plugged in. Hip opener still happening. So much good stuff is happening in these lower chakras. Safety, survival, security, our root chakra. We're giving it some love, giving it some strength and protection and nourishment. Okay. One more. And then when we come out, before we go to the other side, what we want to do is lower that left foot and draw the right knee in and just point and flex. Point and flex 3 times with that right leg. Simultaneously now, shoulders plug in, palms face toward one another, peel the toes back of the right foot, keep that low back plugged in. Slowly lower. When that right heel touches, keep the right toes flexing back. Reach through your left arm more, that opposite. I know it's tempting to go to the right side. I did that, but go to an opposite here. Left arm, right leg. And then soften. And now right arm, right leg. Soften. And let's add our twist before we go to the other side. Hold that left knee, it's already there, massaging the descending colon. So much of our first, second chakra, what we're digesting, right? Not only our food, our circumstances, how we're meeting life, circling, and all the challenges of it all. Giving ourselves, but you're so great to give us the space and time to digest. Placing again that twist. Now, so many ways to twist as we ease back and forth. We did it just a moment ago, seated. Horse on the ground now, hydrating, very nourishing. Find your place, rotate the right toes up, engage those inner thighs. Open through the heart chakra. And sweeping the left arm up and over the head. Divine light is within me and all around me. Divine light, divine love is within me and all around me. And back to the source of it all. And letting ourselves be nourished deeply, deeply by that divine life and love within and all around you as you ease back, ease back, ease back, hold in. And we're going to plug in both feet, plug in the low back. So we did our left before, we're drawing our right knee in. And now, oh, sorry. Left, don't listen. I need you to help me in this, okay? Holding in, using your left elbow. Correct. To open and breathe and receive. Make sure you're on the opposite side. See, I need you in class again to help me out. Directly. And we're going to add, we're going to rotate, we're going to add the crunch. So we're going to exhale 5 times. Keep the low back plugged in. 5 times. Keep going. Everybody switching on the opposite side if I cued wrong. Somebody give me a thumbs up if we're on the right side, the left knee. Okay. Yeah? Okay. And then go to the other side now. So meaning the opposite. So if we've done the straight up, we want to bring that right elbow over to the left, unfurl the left arm. And see if you like this in your figure 4, getting a hip opener, low back release, core strengthening. If you like this movement, then we're going to add on. We're going to continue and weave it through when you do your own practice, and maybe have a time to breathe it through this practice. All right, so extend 5 on each side. Then, you know, we unfurl, we fold the left knee in, we extend, and we flex. We point, and we flex. Point, flex, flex, and then simultaneously, palms reach toward one another, feel the toes back. Stretch, 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 stretch. Take a moment on that. When the heel touches, peel those left toes back, reach to the right arm. Bilateral movement, soften. Left arm, left leg, lunar side, feminine, reflective, nourishing, and soften. And then fold that right knee in. It's already bent, ascending colon, cleansing and breathing. And known as a masculine side, the doer, solar activator, placing the right foot on the left thigh or down by your side, swivel the hips, opposite hand, draws it across the body, pulsing back and forth, hydrating. And then once you stabilize, those inner thighs are drawing in, peel the left toes up and back, sweep the right arm above the head. Let the head go along to the right, the neck. Divine light is within me, all around me, really open to that expansion of the heart. Upper chakras, lower chakras contained. Of this twist. Really feel that. The divine life is here, divine love is here. Oh, that's the yoga, that's the communion, that's the connection and the union. Easing back, adjusting onto your spine, and just take a moment and then Shavasana here. Palms up, natural curve in the lumbar. Full yogic breath, belly expands, heart, ground, and then the opposite, ground, heart, belly, feet. Left and right come together in the central channel, neutralizing those opposite waves. All right, bending the knees. If your body likes to rock and roll. If it doesn't, roll onto your side. Gain enough momentum to come up with the heart lifted, shoulders down. And to transition, take your time. We're just going to extend one leg and the other. This is actually core strengthening too. So if you can, release your hands, exhale, blow out through the mouth. Within every breath lies infinite power. Within every breath lies infinite power. Squeeze and soak. Lift up. Take your hands and roll across those reflex points of the feet. Massaging. Keep walking your hands forward gradually, walking the hands in front of the knees or by the sides, and forward folded. Large toes slightly in, slight bend of the knees, really engage those thighs, really open the toes. And we know the affirmation is to relax and cast aside any mental burdens. But one of the concepts I wanted to bring in today is in the moving prayer or any type of prayer, we can ask, we can affirm, or we can ask, please allow any mental burdens to be released that I no longer need.
Say what speaks to you, the prayer request, by asking, please allow me to help release these mental burdens, or the affirmation. Of course, both are needed as we walk our hands toward our feet and elongate the spine. Inhale. Exhale. Reach the arms back in a chair pose, Uttanasana. Sweep the arms forward. Inhale, rising up. And you can feel the space all around you again and again. Into there. Check out that low back, okay? You don't want to be, of course, too tucked under or too flexed out. So like drawing the tailbone gently down, drawing the feet going in as we're standing, still protecting the low back and engaging the core, yielding into the earth. So I wanted to work with what's called pulsing or pendulating today in all the poses, meaning we'll pulse like 2 or 3 times and then we'll sustain it. Okay? Pendulating, the body can like that to just like gradually ease and then stay in the pose longer. So as we're in our standing pose, we're going to do our half moon Ardha Chandrasana. The feet could be closer, but not wider than hip width apart. Okay, be mindful of the low back. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. That's what happens when the arms reach up to the low back. Keep the tailbone drawing gently down. Lengthen, now we pulse. We exhale, full exhalation, and then we inhale, we come back. And we're not. The third one will stay longer. Exhale, maybe a little further, maybe not. Pulsing back. Now the third one, we luxuriate into our half moon. Strength and courage, fill my body cells, engage those legs, okay? Engage the thighs. Notice when you do that, how the navel draws in, protecting the low back. Strength and courage, fill my body cells. Gently lifting up. Low back strong, safe and secure. Inhale, coming back to center. And elbows bend, heart lifts. Grab your arms. Take a moment, ease down, yield, and swirl. The legs wider if you want. Take that in. So periodically, I like to add pulsing. The pulsing all week in my personal practice. It's been fun. Before we stay with it longer. Okay, back to moving down mountain. Okay, engaging is so important of the legs for the belly and the low back as we have that firm foundation, that stable base. And the fingers could be together. You can wrap the thumb and the index any way you like to get the extension, but not cranking the shoulders up. We pulse over to the left. Inhale back, getting a taste of it. Gazing over and half moon. Now the third one, we could apply the prayer by asking. Okay. So please allow strength and courage to fill my body cells. Help me to feel strength and courage filling my body cells. What's the difference? The affirmation of the prayer, and we can use those at different times in our lives, correct? Please allow me to feel strength and courage filling my body cells. Inhale, coming back up, keep those legs engaged, keep the abs engaged. Exhale, rub your arms. Easing down and swirling. This time as we swirl, we're going to bring the arms up shoulder width. Eye gaze to the side as we go.
back to mountain, coming back into eagle heart mudra or namaste hands. Offering prayers of care to others. So whatever we're going through, that Tonglen practice, may others find ease as well. It's worry, anxiety, fear, etc. And mind polarization, all kinds of stuff going on. Okay. Prayers of care to others as we tap into our higher truth, our beautiful seat of intuition, that expansive crown, and then lengthening beyond the crown. And we're going to go into vinyasa now with our pulsation. Swan diving forward. Forward fold. Please allow me to relax and cast aside any unnecessary mental burdens. When I do that, I can open to love, wisdom, compassion. Hold down dog, maybe the first of the day. Step it back and luxuriate into the full body stretch. Really press to the base of the fingers. We know the cues, but it's helpful to just really feel that magnetism of the heart or the thighs. As you tread it out, perhaps. The healing power of spirit radiates through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. And there again, the difference. May I feel the healing power of spirit radiating through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. Okay. And keep drawing the navel toward the spine. Let's draw the inner borders of the feet together. If possible, lifting the right leg up. I know it's not in everybody's practice. If you can, bend the right knee. Go ahead and rotate the ankle. And to core strengthen, we're going to bring, in our plank, we're going to go knee to chest. It's been a while since I've taught this. Knee to chest, plank, if possible. Navel to spine. Feel that core strength. Pick up again. Try to do 3 of these. You could go to knee to chest again, or the variation is right knee to right elbow. Big exhale. Navel to spine. Protect and strengthen the low back. Right leg lifts and possibly knee to chest or right knee to left elbow. Okay. One more time here. Lifting up. Before we go to the other side, we're going to lower. Either knee, chest, chin, or classic plank. So we start with plank, and then we may go to knee, chest, chin, chaturanga, all the way down. Rock side to side. The shoulders hydrated. Turn the fingertips in. Make those figure 8s with the shoulders. Yeah. And here we go. We're drawing the elbows in. We're going to pulse a few times. So pulsing is the thing today. We're going to pulse up, taste it. Feet are grounded. Tops of the feet are grounded. Hands off. And then knees. We'll do that twice. Maybe come up a little bit higher. Recharging the spine. Recharging all the chakras. Now we sustain it more, which can be a half cobra or a full cobra, Bhujangasana. Inhale, keep pressing through the tops of the feet, legs strong, protecting the low back. And here in our cobra or all the way up, you decide, a lion's breath, stick out the tongue. Eye gaze up. We're doing a lot of exhales here today. Audibly. Get that stuff out of the throat, the gun, with the heart and the head, it can be very confused. Absolutely. What's going on? And then let's take some rest in our wide, with the knees wide, and the arms in prayer pose.
So opposite of that cobra, we're resting and grounding and rooting. Deep belly breathing, deep low back breathing. Doing that right alignment in all the chakras. Our personal power center, the third chakra. What we can do, we can align ourselves with a higher truth. Okay, we're gonna round up. We're gonna round up into a rounded cat, for just for a moment, a rounded cat. Drawing in, and then shoulder extension. Okay, and then we're gonna hover off the knees. We try to do this every class to strengthen core and legs, and arms and spine. And then pour it back. All those physical alignment principles. As you pulse back and forth, spreading it out. Now the healing power of spirit, may the healing power of spirit radiate through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. So if that one leg lifts doesn't work for you, that's okay. Modify it if you can. Walk the feet together, left leg lifts up. Bend that left knee, open the hip. And we do that core strengthening. Plank, knee to chest. We want some fire here. Extending. And we'll see, we can keep the knee to chest or go left knee to left elbow. Back. Hardest one, left knee to right elbow, opposite. Sit. Okay. Extend. Lower that left leg. Get set up for our classic plank or maybe forearm plank. Couple breaths here. Look left ahead or belly. Then the knees touch down. Keep engaged through the low back and the navel. And bring the feet and do a crisscross. So engaging the core as you do this. And then let the hands come down. Let's take a moment to rest. Make a little pillow with your hands. Rest at the spiritual eye. Two become one. To rise become one. Beautiful rest of intuition. Softening the shoulders, feeling the support of the earth. Deep gratitude, support of earth. And then we'll pulse before we rise, this time in more of a locust series, meaning our arms come down by our side. Let's lift the lower body, inhale, the legs, and ease. And let's lift upper and lower, inhale, up, not holding on, and ease. Pendulating. And then ready for whatever expression of your cobra or Jandasana. Inhale, partial or full. Get off the knees, lengthening through the crown. Exhaling, lion's breath. Okay, and that. Coming back, on the knees now. We go wider. With the knees to the outside corner of the mat. We go into prayer again to take all this in, expansion, the dynamic solar energy, known as the doer. And then begin receiving. Now, we warmed up and we did a back bend with the cobra. If this feels like your back can do this, what we're going to do is we're just going to flow through with our knees like they are. So just bear with me here. It's a modification of bow. We're not going into full bow. Just look on your knees. We're going to roll on the outside of the knees. Release down. And then think of rocking side to side, keeping that core engaged, walking those knees in, and just see if you can ground your feet or use a strap and pull it back. Before you know it, you might be in bow. Very deep. If not, that's okay. We can modify. We're not staying long. We're pulsing in the bow, and we're just transitioning back, rippling back to rounded cat. Cat cow. Put a snug bow in there. And then hovering first neutral spine, hovering off the knees, strengthening the core, and go back. Let's go ahead and lift off the heels. Once you're in down dog, go to the side. So toes face the left. Look at that twist. Maybe the right arm reaches a little bit forward. You can really feel that through the right side of the body. Bring that right hand back, lift, swirl, toes to the right. Magnetizing the heart, maybe that left arm comes forward for even deeper expansion through the lunar side, the left side. And then walk that left hand back. Feeling power, spirit radiate through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being, stepping forward, 1 foot at a time. And one hand resting with the palms facing up at the hollows of the elbows. If you want to go into Pada and Sasana, you can. Relaxing and casting aside any mental burdens. Or if it's kind of hard to do that, ask for help. May I be able, with grace, with help, to relax and cast aside any mental burdens. And as I do that, maybe you'll be able to feel more love, wisdom, and compassion. Go to our higher centers, ones that is release of our anxiety and our worries. Inhale, sweep it up, sweep down, and then rise up. Lift off the heels if you want. Some space all around you. And make sure we're not overarching, we're not scooping under too much. Maintain our belly, our back, and our mountain pose, lengthening up to the crown. So as promised, moving into warrior. Warrior can mean so much. Sometimes we need that shield and that armor to go out there, right? Other times we need that upliftment of expansive, the love and the protection and the boundaries as well. So as we step our right foot back, as we do, we're going to pulse into our Virabhadrasana 1. So take a moment here, left knee tracks over to the second toe, left hip draws back, right hip forward. So we root down, exhale, and then we straighten. Now think of adding the arms now. We're going to reach up overhead. Exhale, bend the knee, bend the elbows, pulse. And straighten. Arms and legs. Do they get one more pulse before we hold it? Exhale. Now we know the affirmation. Bringing the forearms toward one another. I attune my will to the source of all power. Stay with it. I attune my will to the source of all power. See if you can go deeper. It's hard to do that. You need help. May I ask for help, but with attuning my will to the source of all power. May I receive that. Inhale, coming up, straightening both legs, straightening both arms, and then easing, you can have our blocks by our side into pyramid to take rest. Even though it's a strong in the legs, I'm going to set my foot forward and show what, if I had another block, I'd bring it on the other side. Returning to the wisdom of the heart. Really breathe into front, back, sides of the heart. Luxuriate there in the receiving. There's the expansion, the dynamic warrior, fighting the battle, and then the receiving, the retreat. Rest and digest. Now go to the low back, core, draw the navel in. Feel the low back expanding. And notice when you engage those legs, how that's going to help the core strengthen. So this pose may not at all seem like a core strengthener, but of course it is. And now bend the knee. We're going to maybe move your blocks to the other side, using the blocks, transition into our Virabhadrasana 1 to the other side. So take your time, turning the right toes forward, left foot, 30-degree angle, taking the block, props, and setting up for success. Dragging that right knee over the second toe, right hip back, left hip forward, tailbone down. Inhale, arms reach up, pulse with it. Exhale, root down. Inhale, now we straighten, arms and legs, and root. Again, lengthen, pendulate, and then sustain as we're breathing, rooting, and attuning. I attune my will to the source of all power. 2 or 3 times here with the arm movement forward. Feel the strength of the legs, the strength of the core as well. Lots of activation here. Of course, it's a warrior pose. It's a masculine pose of doing. Inhale, reaching up. And then we come forward. Draw that right hip back. Both arms come forward. In pyramid. In the block, using props. I'm going to bring my left toes in more, facing forward. And bowing to the wisdom of the heart. So contain those legs, feel the muscles wrapping around the bones. And that will engage the core. You can feel that navel to the spine. As we rest and digest. Activation and the resting. Yoga is so great for both. Then pulse them. Even just with an after class the next couple hours, it's not okay. Where is it? Are you in the active phase? Are you in the resting phase? Just be more conscious of that. Open into the wisdom of the heart. And then softening that right knee, bending it. Not really, I don't know why I said softening, bending it, and you're coming forward. And we're sweeping up. Turning the toes in. Now we're going into our classic Prasarita Padottanasana. So activate the legs, feel the sit bone to the heel connection. Now when you do that, 4 engages, right? Reach behind you if you can, or use a strap or hands on the hips. As we go into our Prasarita Padottanasana. It's a lot there. Forward bend. Forward bend. We've done it several times in class. Now it's with the legs extended. We have the legs closer together. As we bring the hands down. See if you want to start with the elongated arms. Elongate. Now keep that elongation for each vertebra. So the key is to keep the spine elongated, even when you bring your hands back, keep the elongation. So I got this yin and yang going on. We got a very long legs and core. But we want a lighter upper chakras. We're getting an inversion of blood flow to the brain. Again, allowing, asking perhaps to release and cast aside unnecessary worries and stresses that you can't control. That you can allow the love, wisdom, compassion of the higher chakras to come in. That right alignment of the upper chakras. Okay, hands, wrists underneath the shoulders. Keep elongating the spine, keep engaging those legs. For most of us, we'll need to bend the knees, no problem. And I do, coming up. Okay. And turning the toes out, squatting down, tailbone down. Core strength, leg strength. One more twist. Hold over that left shoulder. Straighten the right arm. And then back to center. Out of spot. Turning to the other side. Twist. Twist and come back. Twist and shout if you want. Get expressive release. Arms out to the side. Collect and gather, toes turned in. I'm going to just move my fingers expanding out and then arms out to the side, joint spaces. And then arms up. And then lifting the heels one at a time, but don't think about it too much. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. So you need that energy. The energy is flowing in different ways. Sometimes sustained, dynamically, sometimes shaking. So doing release. All right, we got today. I hope we could do a warrior 2, warrior 3 combo. So pulsing with it, have your block here. We're going to turn our left foot out, right foot in 30 degrees, track that knee over our second toe. This time we're facing forward, shoulders, hips. Pulsing on the inhale, rooting. Pulse up, and then root. Now sustain those strength of the legs and the core as we turn the palms up. And joyfully manifest and feel the power of the divine. Joyfully manifest and feel the power of the divine, especially in the upper chakras, crown, spiritual eye, legs strong. Now more of a vinyasa here, extending out to the side, angle pose, really getting that wonderful stretch. Preparing for warrior 3. I'm going to use a block in warrior 3, okay? I'm bringing that floor higher as I rotate forward. getting that lunge, stepping the back foot in, placing my hand on the block, looking in front of the block and lifting the right leg. Let's stand fully into this moment. Now, if you want to try to release your arms, you can. Otherwise, hold on to the block. It's still a balance pose. We're on one leg, even though we're holding the block. And joyfully expand into this moment. Now, when I lower, we're not staying long. When I lower that right foot down to touch, then I'm sweeping the arms up. Coming over to the other side. Okay, so fairly flowing Virabhadrasana 2 and 3 on purpose, not holding it on. Okay, so we're bending our right knee. Make sure we don't do this if we don't want to go right into that side angle. And do Virabhadrasana 2, that warrior strength, becoming a warrior versus a worrier. And breathing down. Pulse one time up. And down again. Have the palms up. Inhale. Expanding. And you can look over if you like at the right fingertips or straight ahead. I joyfully manifest. Feel the manifestation of the divine. Our spirit is radiating through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. Yes, and we come in to our side angle lightly with this forearm as we extend. And that wonderful side stretch, kind of twist a little bit the internal organs to the side, and then back to the earth. For our lunge setup, bring the block in front of you, bend that back knee, step it forward. Warrior 3. You can use a chair. If you want to, it's much easier from the upright to do a balance pose, I find. So you can do that, or you can use a block for the ground up, it's called. From the bottom up, lifting up. I expand fully into this moment. It takes concentration, of course, with balance poses. But we don't want that rigid concentration. We want the open concentration, expanding concentration fully into this moment. Ooh, and then we lower down with that back foot, and then we rise up with the arms, with the legs. Forward, very good. Then come down onto our back foot. First, bringing the feet in, shaking it out. Okay, we did warrior 1, 2, and 3. Virabhadrasana. Notice when you put on that armor, and that when we're in that armor, that hopefully that heart, open heart is still there. That's the connection to our higher wisdom self. All right, we're going to come down into a squat and do. Yeah, I was thinking we could weave in low back crunches, figure 4, but in your own practice, perhaps in our time today, really didn't have the luxury time like I thought. As we come down onto our low, we had upper back, hug those knees in. Thank you, body. Let's do a couple of these hip openers. Knees out to the side. Just one time plugging in the feet, going from a 6 to a 12 to remind us of that clock, that Pilates clock, and then over 3 to 9, maybe a couple times. It's hard to do just once. Thank you, the back, thank you, core, I'm taking care of you here. And let's do a pulsing bridge before we go into Shavasana. Okay, so working with the pulsation and then sustaining. Large toe slightly in, roll back, plugged in. Arms by your side. Inhale, lift the low back, the mid back, shifting the weight onto the shoulders, the back of the head. In the thighs are engaged toward one another. So when I mean pulsing, we're going to exhale those cheeks and thighs down a little bit, but then engage those cheeks and thighs and pivot bone up. This is a gentle releasing, not collapsing, but then a pulsing up, activating, strengthening, and the ease. Exhaling, and again, engage, sustain now. Chin's tucked to the hollow of the throat, revealing here that throat chakra opening, as well as all the chakras are expanding. In the right alignment, bridging my mind, my thoughts back into the wisdom of the heart, both working together as we melt down from the upper, mid, the low back. And rather than, if you want to drop your knees to the side, but that's on the one on the low back, I'm inviting you to bring your knees in, your feet apart. One hand on the belly, one hand on the heart containment. It's contained, but it's expansive. You can feel both, most likely. Into the core. Now, if we go into Supta Baddha Konasana, if you have low back issues, I would definitely recommend using a bolster or a low blanket to protect the back. So that's going to help support your back. I would not do this if I had low back issues without support in this pose. And so much is happening in this pose. Deep hip opener, of course. Deep chakra open, and then notice what happens when you turn your head to the right. And then take your left hand and draw that left thigh down. So the opposite was working on opening, and then slowly let the head come back to center. Head goes to the left. The right hand takes the top of the right thigh down toward the knee. Make sure both shoulders lower. Really, it's wonderful sternocleidomastoid and neck release. Again, so much we could hold in our throat chakra and in our neck. There's so much going on, and some of it we're going to express and release, and probably some of it we're going to serenity breath, and then come back to center. So just notice that slow ease from side to side. Both hands on the top of the thighs, drawing the knees, the thighs toward the knees. Open this whole pelvic bowl. On the belly. And sensing and feeling what Shavasana pose would be best for you today. So many choices, legs up the wall, or maybe you want to combine it, maybe you want to do a butterfly here for a while and then transition with the support of the chair or a ball. Classic Shavasana. You decide as we think of cozy and nesting. We're really letting ourselves rest and digest now. We have moments of it throughout the practice, and now we're really sleeping and soaking in that. And connection with all the chakras, so we're not getting stuck anywhere. So much wisdom of the body happens when we open
and our yoga practice into a flow, the flow of energy versus the stuckness that can happen in the armoring in a negative way. We can armor and protect in a boundary way, and we can armor and clench in a way that's too much unconsciously. All right. Oh, drink of water, get settled. My bags, whatever you have there to help the release. And we're going to go from the top down. Starting with the crown. It's opening through the crown. Opening into the spiritual eye. Inviting that beauty of intuition to pour through, soften the eyes, soften the forehead. Soften the jaw, and especially soften the throat. Really dive in and hear the sound of your breath, the oceanic sound of your breath. Feel the texture inside the throat. And there may be sensation, a lot of sensation inside the mouth and the throat. And you can also add a visualization. If there's a place with this oceanic sound, a particular place on the ocean that you love, where you feel safe and secure, you can bring that visual image to you if that speaks to you. Or simply rest where you are in the security of your home. Feel the shoulders easing away from the ears into that wonderful neck release. And it also helps the shoulders. Radiant sensation through both arms. Feel sensation in the entire right hand. Notice the temperature. Feel sensation in the entire left hand. Notice the temperature. And drawing lines of energy, meridians through the hands, back up through the wrists, the elbows, shoulders in, resting in the sanctuary of the heart. Maybe there's warmth there. Notice the sensation there as you feel the oceanic breath breathing into the heart. And as you started the class, reflecting on someone you love or a pet, and notice where that love is coming from, where it originates from. It's your human heart, but it's being held by a deeper spiritual heart. And the spiritual heart can wrap around all of our human conflicts and worries. It's much bigger. Breathing into the ribs, the low belly, the low back. Feeling that expansion, center of your body, strengthening. Feeling that. And relaxing the limbs of the legs, the cheeks, the thighs, the knees, the calves, the ankles, all the way through to the soles of the feet. Feel the back body or whatever's touching the earth. Maybe it's the front body, getting heavier and supported. The part that isn't touching the earth is lighter, and both can exist simultaneously, heavy and light. Already whole, already free, already aware. And just noticing the times where you felt joy. Joy kosha is a part of our being. That is the time to resting and digesting, activating throughout the day. And if it's time for you to gently move, you're welcome to do that, or you're welcome to rest. And you're in a deep state of interiorization. Reflecting on perhaps the theme of pulsing, pendulating, affirming, prayer, whatever feels right throughout the day for you. And those of you who are transitioning, or if you're lying down, we're still going to send healing prayers to others through sound. And really feel the vibration of the 3-syllable Om sound within your body, and as you're energy psychology, very powerful, sending that healing energy to others. So visualize those you would like to send healing energy to. It usually starts with our inner circle, family, loved ones. And then maybe we can open it to middle circle, coworkers, friends, community, neighborhood, and then a large circle, nation, and the world. So you see what feels right, all three, or an aspect of that. You can rub the hands to generate heat. Inhaling. Bringing the hands in namaste, acknowledging the divinity within you, recognizing that within everyone and everything. The yogis say we all have that spark within us, that divine light within us, and some it's very apparent, and others it's not so much, but it's still there. And learning to look at everyone and everything as that divine is in there, and it's all around us. So namaste to you all. I'm going to do the usual here of ending the recording.